What's up, you guys? In today's video, I'm gonna break down Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Game, where it could reshape your life and how you think about investing. If you've ever liked the game Monopoly, then I think you'll love this game in particular because this is like the real world version of Monopoly, and it gets you thinking about investing in real estate, buying stocks, buying assets, buying gold, and all of the things that you face in your day-to-day life and how to start thinking about these things in the real world, but in a game setting. So today, I'm gonna share with you all about the game, how it's played, how it affected my psyche, and how I actually implement this in my real life today. And when I think about buying real estate, buying investments, and how I just approach things in general. I thought at first this was just like a silly little game that I play with my mom when I was growing up, but it turned into something I still play today. It's fun with friends, and it can change the way you think about investing in the real world. So let's get into it. So let's take a look at the game. So this is what it looks like. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. You can probably find this on Amazon. Actually, for sure, I know you can find it on Amazon. But this is Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Game. Basically, the whole concept of the game is really broken down into two key parts, right? The first part is the rat race, or as many people know it, the 9 to 5. And the whole game is about how to escape the rat race. And then the second part of the game is once you're out of the rat race, you're into the fast track, or really how the rich play the game. And so the entire game is about accumulating assets. This can be things like real estate, stocks, gold, whatever it may be, and generating cash flow. Things that are going to generate cash flow are typically going to be businesses, primarily real estate in this game. And essentially, you're trying to accumulate enough cash flow to offset your daily expenses. So the way the game starts out is essentially everyone's given a job. You have your income, you have your expenses, you have debts, you have basically an income statement and a balance sheet that Robert Kiyosaki talks about in his book, both Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as well as the Cashflow Quadrant. And he really first starts to shape up what these ideas are all about. And in this game, he puts them into practice. So that's how the game starts. And essentially, your goal is to overcome your expense line. The way you do that is either by paying down some of your liabilities and your monthly expenses, or by accumulating assets such as real estate. And essentially, the game is punctuated by a couple pieces, whether it's expenses, which they call doodads. It's about doing small deals. It's about doing big deals, and it's about market action. And like that's essentially the play of the game. You go in around a circle and you collect paydays, and you're essentially trying to accumulate assets through buying deals that each have respective amounts of cash flow and require you to go through the process of looking at things critically and trying to figure out, is this a good deal? Is this a bad deal? Should I put my money into this asset now, or should I buy later? Should I save up some money and buy a bigger deal? And it really puts you in the mix of having to think through all of these components. And that's essentially the game. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was really around the psychology of the game and why I found this to be so powerful and why I think this will be powerful for you. The best way I can say this is that, books are great, but games are better. If you think about ever wanting to learn a language, or if maybe you've attempted to learn a language, I know I have. Personally, I went to, grade school, and we had Spanish classes in almost all my years. And it wasn't really until probably about 8th grade that I actually started to pick up on it, which is embarrassing to say the least. And it wasn't until probably even like 10th or 11th grade when I actually started to get a real grasp of the language. And the one game changer for me was the fact that I actually went to Spain when I was probably about 16 or 17 years old, and I actually was immersed in the language. It's one thing to be in a classroom reading books and studying. It's a different thing to be in it, have to speak the language, have to think in the language, and have to constantly communicate with people in that language. And that changed everything for me in terms of my ability to learn the language. The same is true for a game, and that's what the Cashflow Game enables you to do. It puts you in the middle of being in a quote-unquote rat race, which is a representation of probably most of our lives, where we have a 9 to 5 job, we work for a salary, we have expenses that we have to pay out every month, we have surprise expenses that come up that we have to spend on. And you kind of just go through this routine process week in and week out. The goal again, of this game is to get you thinking about what do you do with that income? What do you do with your expenses? How do you reduce your expenses? And then how do you increase your income? So throughout the game, you're essentially going around picking up these deals, and the game puts you in a very safe environment, has you starting to go through the process of thinking about deals, thinking about how you spend your money and where you're going to allocate your money. It pushes you to think about, well, do I buy this deal? Is the trade-off of this deal better than that deal? Should I save and buy this stock? Is that stock a good price? Now, obviously, it is not a perfect representation of life, and it's somewhat exaggerated in some cases, but the principles and the ideas there are consistent. And it's useful in getting you to think about these things. And one of the things I'll share with you that I learned for myself is having grown up playing this with my mom, I later in life found myself actually applying this to how I invest in real estate now and how I actually look at a deal. And I caught myself going through the same process of what you kind of more or less practice throughout the gameplay of the Cashflow game. And it's really looking at something, trying to understand how much out of pocket it's going to be, what is your expected cash flow essentially going to be, what is that relative to how much it's going to cost you, is it a good deal, right? It's the same concept, same principle, and the same is true for investing in stocks, investing in gold. So the key about the psychological aspect of this game is, again, it creates a safe environment for you to kind of play with these ideas and really get a sense of it. And it also kind of like indirectly, subtly starts to change your relationship with money and investing. And it really enables you to play in this space before actually going and doing this in real life, where I feel like a lot of people probably get hung up because it's scary or you don't know what to do or how to think about it. This is a great tool to learn about investing, real estate investing, stock market investing, etc. So the last thing I wanted to share with you is really what the gameplay is all about. So it essentially starts with this. You're given a career card. I don't know how well you can see that, but you're given a career card, and on this you essentially have your income, you have expenses, you have assets and liabilities. Now, the original version of the game came with this horrible kind of, I don't even know what to, it's basically an income statement and a balance sheet. And you're meant to actually fill in all this in. Fortunately, there's actually now a mobile app for this, and it makes it super easy to input your career. It automatically knows everything that goes into that, and it's as simple as just clicking a couple buttons as you go around. So it's not nearly as bad as filling out this. I think this probably scares most people. But the key thing here is, again, if you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad or the Cashflow Quadrant, he talks about your income statement, he talks about your balance sheet, and that's essentially what this is having you to do. And I think that in and of itself is useful because most people don't think about their own expenses and assets in this way. And it forces you to interact with these things in your daily life as you're going throughout the game and think about it in this construct. And again, this is one of the key things that I learned as I was going through this and thinking about my own how do I manage my expenses? How do I think about my income and where that's going? How do I think about my investments? And I actually was able to apply just even that much to my life. And then so outside of that, the game is primarily punctuated around these cards, right? So similar to Monopoly or something, you have doodads, which you'll see is this bright red card here. Basically, unexpected expenses come up. You buy, a pair of golf clubs for $1,000. You have to go to the dentist, $700. And it's funny because as you go through the game, we all kind of buy random things here and there. We'll spend a couple $100 on a dinner. We'll spend a couple of $100 here. But the relationship this develops as you go through the game is you start to get like frustrated or angry. They're like, I have to spend money on this thing now, when you want to be saving up to go buy these investments. That's the whole point of the game. And again, you start to map this back onto your own life. And it's like, do I really need to spend money on this thing? Doodads, part of the game. The next part is small deals, this light green kind of card here. Basically, the small deals are going to be things where it's going to cost you maybe a couple $1,000s to put a down payment on, let's say, like a house. It might be a single family or a duplex. And on the card, it gives you a breakdown of essentially what the cost is, what the down payment is, what the mortgage is, and what the cash flow is. So in this case, it's $160 a month, which would go towards my cash flow in overcoming my expenses in a given over that period of time. Now, throughout the game, you have the ability to continue to buy these, or if you want to raise more cash to buy more investments, there's going to be opportunities where you can actually sell this house and actually earn a profit and roll that into more investments to continue to grow your cash flow. Which takes me to the big deals. Now, the big deals are much more expensive, and for sure, probably just starting out your first turn, maybe you can't buy this with the cash on hand. Maybe if you borrow some money, it might be possible. But the big deals are where the real money is at. And essentially, in this example, you're buying a fourplex. Cost is $290,000, down payment $15,000, cash flow $800 a month. So again, if let's say my overall expenses for a given month are $3,000 a month, this is $800 towards overcoming that hurdle of expenses in order to get me out of the rat race and into the main game. So once you do that, once your cash flow in aggregate exceeds your expenses, then you're out of the rat race and you end up on the fast track. The fast track is meant to represent essentially how the rich live their life, right? They're no longer tied to a 9-to-5 job. They are essentially managing their investments and their cash flows to meet all their expenses and all their discretionary spending. And really the rest of it is going around buying businesses, buying larger assets such as, large multifamilies or pizza shops or whatever it may be, and continuing to go around to, again, kind of get to the next level of the game. Once you win, you essentially, I think it's $50,000 in cash flow. And then so whoever gets to $50,000 in monthly cash flow, once they hit the fast track, wins the game. All in all, super powerful game, the Cashflow Game by Robert Kiyosaki. Again, it's changed how I think about investing, how I think about real estate investing, how I think about how I want to position myself for success in the future, and really adopting the mindset of investing and asset accumulation as being a long-term game, and then using all of the different tools along the way to help further accelerate that growth. So that's all I got for you today on Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Game. As I said, it has a huge impact on the way I approach this in my personal life. It's also a fun game to bring out and play with friends. I've actually brought it out with my friends a number of times, and in fact, they actually will request this sometimes over Monopoly when we're just having some drinks for a fun game night or doing something of that sort. But if you have kids or other people that are interested in investing, this is a really helpful tool or vehicle to get people thinking about this, having a conversation about investing, whether you want to go big into real estate or otherwise. It's an amazing mindset shift to really think about how you're doing this in your day-to-day life. So if you got anything out of this today, really appreciate if you smash the like button, click subscribe if you want to see other videos like this. I'll also link to my book review on Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as well as the Cashflow Quadrant in the description. Otherwise, until next time.